RelaxxlKiller.
Good morning. It is 5:01 in the morning, and what better time than to make homemade banana pudding. This recipe is so good. My husband had it every year for Christmas, and of course we just had it again this year, and I was inspired to make it. So I wanted to share it. Okay, here we go. The first thing you're going to need is, of course, a box of vanilla wafers, a dish you're going to put your pudding in, and bananas. And then over here, I've got a half a cup of sugar, a third of a cup of flour, salt, vanilla, 2 cups of milk, 3 egg yolks. And believe it or not, that's it. Got a pot over here, and I'm going to add the sugar, and I'm going to add the flour. And right now, that's all I'm going to do. And I'm going to whisk this up until the sugar and the flour. So basically, the sugar breaks down the flour. So I'm going to probably do it for about 60 seconds. And after that, we're going to add the milk and get to stirring. So I'll be right back. Okay, I've added the salt, and the salt is just a dash of salt. I would guess 1/4 of a teaspoon. You don't need a lot at all. Now we're going to turn this on low heat. I'm going to turn it on about 4. And we're going to go ahead. Hold on, I'm going to put you down. Now we're going to start stirring in the 2 cups of milk. And you can't really be in a hurry when you make banana pudding. The reason why, don't worry, that's condensed milk. You use 2 cups of milk. What I personally do is I changed up the recipe a little bit, and I use 1 can of condensed milk, and then I top it off with regular milk to make 2 cups. But the recipe is 2 cups of milk. So we're going to constantly stir this over a low heat, not letting it get to a boil, or the milk will burn. So you want to get it to where it's steaming and bubbles are around the edges. Well, bubbles are around the edges all the time, but you want to get to where it's steaming. And then after that, we're going to add our egg yolks. And that's all I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here and I'm going to stir. So last night was church. We had a good time. It's always a good time at church. We've been going without missing a beat. I guess we started looking for a church after the kids left in June, my grandkids. And we visited a few churches, and then we found the one we're going to in August. And we've been going ever since. We go every Sunday morning, every Sunday night, and every Wednesday. And then, you know, whatever special things they might have in between. It's just a real good congregation, a real good pastor. There's not been one message that he's delivered that I haven't and just been blown away by. So I really appreciate that. So I think your total time for stirring is going to be 10 minutes. So instead of sitting here for 10 minutes trying to think of something to say or to talk about, I'm going to continue to stir. And when I get to the point to where I'm getting ready to add my eggs, I will come back.
Yesterday was Jenny's birthday.
I know, I wished her happy birthday.
I did too this morning.
Okay, it just started steaming. So now we're going to temper our eggs. If we were to pour our eggs, hand me a fork, just straight up in there, they're going to scramble, basically. And you don't want to do that. So take a little bit of the hot mixture and just stir it up in the eggs. I'm going to take a little bit more, gradually adding in the heat. Okay, I'm going to put you back down. Sorry about that. No bubble yet, just steam. Take a little bit more of that. So the last thing you want to do is shock your eggs. So we're letting them get a little bit warm by tempering them. So now, while stirring, I'm going to gradually add the eggs. Make sure you're constantly stirring, and just a little at a time. And again, the reason why we're doing it is because we don't want scrambled eggs. They're going to cook in this mixture, but we don't want them to scramble. We don't want them to curdle. We want them to cook just like the milk and the sugar and the flour. And so all you have to do is introduce it slowly to the heat if you don't want them to scramble, but you want them cooked. Okay, now we're going to do this until again it starts to steam. Never, ever, ever, ever bringing it to a boil. Never, ever, ever. And it's thickening. It's going to get much more thick. It's going to get thicker. But you can feel the resistance against the whisk that it is thickening. So I'm going to continue to stir. One ingredient I forgot to tell you about, and we add it after this comes off the heat, is 3 pads of butter. So 3 teaspoons of butter.
No new information in just yet this morning. Of course, we were so confident in the cold air, and it has come to fruition that superintendents are able to sort of think ahead, like, okay, how are we going to handle this? Very, very cold.
And it's easy, but it needs your attention, but it's so worth it. I mean, homemade pudding is just, if you haven't had it, there's nothing I can say that will compare it. It's not like the snack packs or the box. And if you wanted chocolate banana pudding, you would add Hershey's cocoa baking powder to this. Because remember, it's already got the sugar.
It's not a howling wind outside, just a little breeze at 5 miles per hour, but any breeze, even a little one, means the wind chills will drop below zero this morning. 9 o'clock this morning, we're about 10 degrees. The wind should be pretty light by mid-morning, but the wind chill, if there is any sort of a breeze, will be down to 5 degrees. 19 noon.
This morning, Dunkin' Donuts going global.
Okay, I've turned the heat off. So I'm going to add about a tablespoon of vanilla. Sorry guys, I don't measure. And I've taken it off, turned the heat off. And then one at a time, I'm going to add the pat of butter. Two. And 3. And that melts in no time.
Visit one of our 24/7 locations or online at af247.com. Advanced Financial. Welcome.
What's happened to snacking? How did it become absent-mindedly eating one after the next after the next? So predictable and so unsatisfying. What about pulling up a chair, a stool, a beanbag, and actually tasting our food? We are a creamy cheese that still believes in the beauty of life and in the elegant swipe of a swipe. Of course, that doesn't mean you can't dunk us or scoop us up. Enjoy every single solitary bite. The Laughing Cow.
Okay. I'm going to take that off the hot burner because I'm going to quit stirring. And I'm just going to let it sit there and thicken. In the meantime, we are going to line our dish with cookies and bananas. Yummy. Let me go get a knife before I even think about it. So how you guys doing? You guys doing all right? Yay! I got up at probably 3:30 this morning. Drank my cup of coffee. It's freezing outside. I often have to remind my husband. Oh, no. My husband often has to remind me. Because I'll ask him, oh, why did we move here? Because we've always, since we knew each other, we knew we wanted to end up in Tennessee. I'm going to put you down again. Now we're just going to line the bottom. Yummy. Gotta love vanilla wafers. Is there anyone that doesn't love vanilla wafers? There. I'm going to put you down again. Now I'm going to start on a banana layer.
Stock futures are up. How about Dunkin' Donuts?
Yeah, Dunkin' Donuts on the move. The chain is expanding its business in China.
And we're going to do the same thing we did with the vanilla wafers. We're just going to line the container with bananas. And while we're doing this, that mixture is not only thickening, it's cooling. Because after we're done, we're going to pour it all over the place. And it's going to be so good. You know what? I'm going to put a few more bananas down. Sorry. Hi, honey.
Hey, baby.
Today.
Here's the cheering.
72,000 kids just cheering right there.
I heard the cheering.
You can see the steam kind of going right down the Cumberland River right there if you look on the camera. It's just an amazing sight. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah, it almost looks like waves from here.
We got the school bus down there for some reason, but
Not going to be
forget how the Americans are indulging in Sonic. While many fast food companies have been struggling recently, Sonic has.
I forgot how good vanilla wafers were.
And today, it's called Disappearing Cheesy Fries Little Doggy. Little Doggy. It's for Americans who can't decide between a hot dog and cheese fries. That's because the offering is.
Let's peek. There we are so far.
way in.
I'll be doing laps around the Sonic drive-thru down here.
We're checking with Jerry.
There you go. Davidson County schools closed. That's exciting. Yeah. So we'll have more of that obviously coming up in a little bit. Maybe we'll get someone on the phone here and we can talk a little bit about the cold. But the kids will stay home today.
Yeah, which is good. I'm just walking from the parking lot to the car in 5 degrees. Imagine the kids that have to stand out there and wait for those buses. It's dangerous. So, good call by Metro.
I'm getting soft in my old days because just putting out the trash this morning, I was a little.
Should take about 4 layers.
I'm thinking about the poor trash guys.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hanging on the back of those trucks.
We're just not used to these things. Yeah.
Well, today is a day of remembrance. Dickens will be laid to rest. We take a look at the legacy he leaves behind coming up.
How'd you like to look like her in your 40s? Or an age? Well, this morning,
I'll let you take a peek.
oh yeah, you're gonna love it. This morning on ABC's Morning
That's right. Wilson County Motors has extended our $500 under invoice sale. Now through January 10th, brand new 14 and 15 in stock Chevy Buick and GMC $500 under invoice.
I didn't do it like your sister did it. She does it in the microwave, and she doesn't add some of the ingredients. So I just did it your mom's way, and Granny's way.
You do it in the oven?
No, it's already cooked.
Oh.
The
You gonna be ready before I leave?
no. It does have to set up in the fridge.
Oh, Lord.
Mm.
Love you.
Love you too. Be safe.
Kangaroo is a mascot. Speedy Cash, the online cash flow company you can trust. When you need cash fast, go to Speedy Cash.
Hey Pete, check this out. Come on, little doggy. Sit. Oh. Sit.
You trained your little doggy?
Yeah, but he's not doing any of the stuff. Shake.
Oh.
All right, it's lunch. But look. Okay. Does it taste good though?
Little doggy, starting at $1.29.
Love you, baby.
Love you, honey. One, two.
easier than ever. Get easy savings of up to $300 on the Sealy Posturepedic Queen set for just $398.99. And right now, sleep easy on a new Tempur-Pedic Queen set for as low as $57 per month with 0% interest-free financing for 4 years. Plus, with approved credit, get free
I used 5 bananas.
or delivery when you finance a new mattress set with easy credit. So don't miss Mattress Firm's easy savings event.
That's a banana here.
That's right. Wilson County Motors has extended our $500 under invoice sale. Now through January 10th, brand new 14
Okay.
in stock Chevy Buick and GMC $500.
So my dish is literally full of layers of vanilla wafers and bananas. Now, people that use the instant pudding, They do cookies, bananas, pudding, cookies, bananas, pudding, cookie, banana, pudding. But because this is thin, and it's gonna pudding up, it's gonna thicken up in the fridge. But because this is thin, we're gonna pour it all over the pudding, and it's gonna absorb all the way down to the bottom. So that's why you saw me fill up the pudding dish. Okay, I'm gonna put you back down so we can pour that over.
Davidson County schools, you are now officially closed for today due to the extreme cold. You can see all these purple shaded counties.
And here we go.
Down for today. That information is running at the bottom of your television screen. Here are our school delays. Rutherford County school system, the county school system on the delay.
And hopefully I made enough to come up to the top.
That's the first thing I did this morning. Got up, went to the shower, brushed my teeth.
You know what? I made the perfect amount.
And delays on my app. I was actually surprised at the number of school systems that delayed and closed, but totally understand.
I mean, maybe a half a cup more, but really no.
In most locations, Nashville's 4 degrees. Dixon, you're now officially
Here you go.
0 over
See, you can see it's up to the top.
0 degrees. We're 1 in
But all this topping is just going to be goodness and beautiful decor.
on the northern plateau. It is 1 below 0.
Isn't that weird that I got to have my wafers down?
Columbia, 5 in the borough.
Okay, so this is going to go in the fridge. I wouldn't serve it for about 2 hours.
Here's today's plan.
And when it's time to serve, maybe I'll remember to
By 9 a.m.
take the camera out and show you. But that's it. That has been homemade banana pudding.
This